What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. This is Unfiltered. I'm here with my great co-host. We got Larry Gray and we got Brandon on the mic. How y'all doing today?
What's up? What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Doing good. Glad to be here. Having a good weekend so far? What's going on in your lives?
Everything good. Got a wedding coming up, May 26th. If I forget the date, I'll get killed. Super excited. I actually got a weird call from my father about the groomsmen party coming up. So super excited about that. And that's about it for me. What's up with you, B?
We'll get that to the end. With my unfortunate news, but we'll have family time at the end.
Larry, you said again you're getting ready for a wedding. So what is that process like? How has that been? Is it affecting you? Like how? I mean, are you able to just think straight? Or what's going on in your head right now? Because you're like right around the corner.
It is. So the sad thing about it actually is for the guy, we just have to show up basically. So
Right.
so a lot more planning on the female's part, but it's been exciting actually. It's been busy doing fittings and found out one of my arms is longer than my other arm. So disappointed about that, but it's just been awakening. The whole process is so unreal right now, and I think it won't sink in until weeks
You're
after
like,
the
right.
actual
Or
wedding.
as you're like walking down the aisle or something like
You're gonna
that.
bust out crying. Oh, I can't believe I'm doing
Well,
this.
well, congratulations to you. That's a big deal. And I mean, we got a good show for you guys today. I want to talk. Kevin Hart. It's been a big deal. Obviously, we all know about the whole cheating situation. It came out that the guy who like recorded the video and released the video, or who blackmailed Kevin, he was actually arrested this week, and it actually turned out to be one of Kevin's like closest friends. So I wanted to know what your thoughts were on that, and just the whole situation. What do you guys think about that?
Well, my thing is, I don't really know like when they really met each other, but I'm assuming.
Well, apparently they've been friends for a while because the guy, I think they said he had like a cameo in Soul Plane or something like that. So he's like
I'm talking about like, I wouldn't say Soul Plane would be like major success for Kevin Hart.
right.
But I guess it was like his first attempt at it. But I'm talking about like how like the dude Spank, and then it's like another dude, like they call themselves the Paper Cup Boys. Like a lot of them like knew him in Philly. So it's like, did you know this guy before you were even on your road to being Kevin Hart? Because I feel like a lot of these people, and like we talked about this yesterday with like famous people in relationships, like you'll meet somebody and they're automatically like either they're your friend or you'll be in a relationship with a woman or whatever. But since you're always on the move, it's like you really don't know who this person is other than FaceTime calls or yo, we going to this event, oh, we doing that. So I feel like you can't really call somebody your friend if you have never been in any adversity with that person.
I
It's
agree.
all just,
Right. That's the true
not
test
your-
of friendship.
Yeah,
is
that's
when
not
you
your
go
friend.
something.
It's just I know you.
Right.
We might talk more often than I don't talk to you. But like a lot of these people who aren't your friend, and for real, this shows like that guy was not your friend. Just because you hold bottles and take pictures with people and turning up, like that's not your
Right.
man.
That's an Instagram friend.
I agree.
Exactly.
I mean, and that's the sad thing though, because that's the generation we live in right now, where everybody is like an Instagram friend. I mean, people really don't have real friends anymore, and I think that especially when you are famous, I mean, everybody wants attention now. So it's like you have to really question: are people in your life just for a moment, or are they really friends? So I definitely think that's even something to take in consideration. So it's like because people just really. I don't know. People just use you, for a moment or whatever.
What do you think the cause of that is?
I mean, I think it's the attention. I think it's social media. I think it's the way that people get validation from how you feel on how other people feel, other people's opinions. Everybody's giving their opinions. I was watching The View the other day, and Whoopi said it perfectly because there's like this event that's in it's a political event, and it's apparently it's closed to the public, and it's like a roast. So they wanted to roast like Gloria Allred, who's like the lawyer who helped bring Bill Cosby down, and they wanted to roast her, and they were saying like I don't see how that could be done because that's such a hot button issue when you get on the alleged assault,
Right.
sexual assault, and all of that stuff. And she was saying back in the day before social media, before camera phones, it used to really be a private event, and you could do it and you could do it without fear of somebody recording it and getting it on social media. And so that's now people are leaking it, and it's like not even fun anymore. And you have comedians like Whoopi and like Joy was up there saying they wouldn't do it now because it's so fragile. People's feelings get hurt so easily that you can't really say what you really want to say because comedians go hard on each other. And so I think that's a portion of it, is like everybody's so sensitive. And it's just like we can't even criticize the president. We can't even talk about
Right.
what he's doing wrong without. It's like everybody else that talks about him gets in trouble, but he's up there like making a mess every single day, and he's still not getting in any trouble. So I think that is the biggest portion of it, is that we can't even really say how we really feel without hurting somebody's feelings now.
And that's funny you say that, Ty, because actually one of the topics I wanted to discuss today was would privacy be dead soon? There was a recent thing where NASA had a disclosed report about that in 2017, apparently their satellite usage has tripled its usage, collecting data, collecting phones, text messages, information like that. So, would privacy ever be? Would it be ever? Would it ever come back? Are we going to become 100%, banished? Would people even like be able to adjust to this? Because that's a big adjustment for a lot of people here, where not even doing things in the dark, but also just just having a clear mind and free of technology and free of all these things. Do you think that would be a hinder now, or do you think it's going to get better?
I think it's going to get worse, and I think you're absolutely right. I think privacy has been gone, but I think that also goes in hand with what I said earlier about we don't criticize the government anymore, because a fundamental principle of a democracy is the people, and the people are supposed to challenge the government. And when you have things that happen and it goes unchecked, and you end up in a situation like this where you do have a government that's spying on us and nobody's doing anything about it, our Congress people aren't doing anything about it. And so I think that it's only going to get worse unless we, the people, challenge our leaders to really hone in and to really kind of put laws in place that actually block that. Because even when you look at like Facebook, it's one of those things where, as a company as big as Facebook is, the whole league in the government, they interfere with an election, and it's like, oh, now maybe we should get some security checks in place. That should have never happened with a company that huge. They have billions of dollars in assets. So I think that it's one of them things where it's like, you have to be conscious as you go along. And I think that no, it's not going to get any better. But I do think that, like I said, it's our job to kind of keep those things checking, to make sure that they're not spying on us, because actually we are supposed to have the right to to privacy. So
Are you hiding something, Ty?
no, I mean, if I was, they would know. So.
That's the whole thing with back to Kevin Hart. Why would celebrities cheat? Why would they know they're going to get caught?
Celebrities are human. First of all, that's the thing of it. You have to remove the celebrity, because at the end of the day, we're all human, and I think that's the main way to look at it. They have
no privacy at all. They're going to get. It's inevitable to cheat as a celebrity, especially a high status like Kevin Hart, and not get caught doing it.
But see, that's the thing, because even that goes into because I'm just like, that goes into even trust and friends and all that stuff, because he had it set up so that if it wasn't for his friend, leaking that, he would have been good,
Because the friend put the camera in the
exactly. The friend planted the camera, so it's like, and it was his room. I'm sure he had I'm sure he probably had somebody check, make sure nobody had phones or anything like that. So it's one of the things where it's like, I don't think it's because you're a celebrity you can't cheat. I just think you're human, and you make stupid decisions like everyone else. I still don't think that'll be the last time that he cheats. I mean, so it's like, that's really the way to look at it. I think remove the celebrity aspect of it, because celebrities do crazy stuff all the time.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think more crazier actually.
Exactly.
They deal with all these different type of pressures and stresses that we averagely don't deal with every day. But still, that's a bold move, Kevin Hart. That's a bold move. Twice, is it?
Well, his first wife, that situation. I mean, I'm sure that wasn't the first time he cheated on his new wife. It's just the first time he got. That's probably why the friend, because I've been thinking about this in my head, that's probably why the friend wanted to set him up, because he probably knew he was doing the wife dirty or whatever. He's like, oh, I'm gonna catch this.
That's the thing. If somebody is putting you, all right, so I'm just going to bring a scenario, all right? It's not real. Let me know. So I may or may not have known people that have done certain things that may or may not be considered illegal.
Hmm.
So sometimes you might build a relationship with somebody doing whatever it is you're doing, and it's like a sweet deal, like it's perfect. Like nobody could give you the same thing that this person is giving you, but people will still go out and like try to double cross the person just for the sake of double crossing the person, which to me doesn't make sense. If somebody gives you something that nobody else can give you, why wouldn't you just honor that relationship? So you bring it back to the Kevin Hart. If you have a guy that goes on tour, might let you come out, open up, do shows for him. Yeah, you might not be in a lead movie role. You might have like a quick 10 seconds in the movie, but if he can get you in the movie, he's going to get you in the movie. Why risk that
Seriously.
for a $10 million check?
And then not even that, because now your reputation is harmed.
Exactly.
So
Nobody is going to
Exactly.
work with you.
Right. And yeah, I always think about that. Even when you look at like sometimes, and this is going to go all the way left on y'all right now. But even sometimes you'll have these situations where you'll have like it's a celebrity and they down low and they messing with like somebody, or like they messing with a transgender or something. And then the transgender will go and expose, the messages on Instagram, or even the gay person will go and like try to be calling them out. I'm like, okay, so now nobody's gonna want to mess with you ever again because you just.
I don't
exposed
even
that.
think that.
Right. And it's like, you don't think that?
Nah.
What do you think?
All these girls that be exposing dudes,
And they
then
still be-
the
yeah,
guys
but, like,
still
block
want
it,
the
yeah.
girl. We don't care about being exposed. That's the thing. When you are secure in yourself, what a person will say
But
in your
I'm
DM,
not talking about secure. I'm talking about I said DL. That's the difference.
DL what?
Like that.
Down
low.
low.
Oh, so you're basically saying somebody who's gay.
But
Who-
they trying to be straight, like trying to.
Oh, like-
But that's
you're
what I'm
trying to
saying.
cover-
Be secure with yourself.
That's
Don't
true.
say something in a DM or in a text message that you
That you
wouldn't
would
say
say,
on
right.
their timeline.
Right.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing of it. I agree, but I'm just saying it goes back to the situation that you
And
were
then this is
saying
the
of-
second thing. If that's really what you are, you're really exposed. If
That's the
really what
thing.
you
I
are.
always say
If
it's what-
anything, I feel like you should be like, I'm glad I ain't have to say it.
Exactly.
Like now it's out there.
Exactly. And my whole thing with that is usually when that's the case, it's like one of those things where everybody knew but you. It's like
It's just people
Right,
want
you're coming out to
right.
yourself actually because we already
They
knew.
want confirmation.
So I agree, but I just said that to say it's one of those things like you were saying where if you do have that relationship and then you jeopardize it, nobody
Like
else
that's
is gonna
dumb.
win.
Like, I don't care what you're doing. If somebody is giving you an opportunity,
Mhm.
regardless if it's not what you're expecting,
Mhm.
it's like hold that down. Like
And then the maliciousness of it all, it's like you can tell he did it to be like spiteful. It
Right.
wasn't
So
like
do you think jealousy played a part in it?
Oh, absolutely.
It's absolutely
Look at
around
Kevin Hart
this-
is winning. I mean, because to me, Kevin Hart had a few, his first few comedy specials were funny, but now it's to a point where he's like plateauing, and I don't think his stuff is that funny anymore. But needless to say, he's still like the #1 comedian.
Yeah, for
So
sure, for
he's
sure.
winning all over in movies, and if you're in the background and you want that, and you're by it every day.
number one in demand.
Exactly.
It's like you would pick Kevin Hart to star. in a
Exactly.
movie.
And he's a great interviewer too. Though. I do give it to him too. He's a great interviewer for a comedian. He always
'Cause he has
a story.
personality.
Yeah.
He has a really, really
A lot of
good
comedians have like a somberness to them.
Mhm.
Like Kevin Hart is
He's like energetic. He's like always
yeah,
ready to
you
go.
will never see him down.
What did y'all think about J. Cole using him in the video? Because when I listened to the album, I didn't realize Kevin's heart was. I didn't put it together.
I didn't even watch the video. So.
But okay. Well, he did the video, and then he put Kevin in the video as like because the song is called Kevin Hart, and it's about the whole cheating thing.
Right.
And so Kevin is actually in the video. It's really cool the way he did it. But I thought that was really.
That's really unique, and I feel like that's really good in Kevin Hart that he can actually take the situation
Yeah.
and kind of like put a positivity on it
Yeah.
and not.
But that's what
be down
people
with it.
like about him anyway, because he's always done stuff with like younger comedians on social media. He'll be doing videos and stuff like that. So he's really open to like embracing, I guess, younger people. But anyways, I just think that situation is crazy about his friend. I mean, it's just one of those situations where it's like, you can't trust anybody. You really, really can't.
Speaking of cheating, didn't Chloe and Tristan get back together?
That's what they're saying, and they made an appearance. Like she's actually like making appearances with him at games and stuff like that. So I mean, hey, yeah,
Good
you
job,
know.
Chloe.
Right.
Got my man balling again.
That's what they're saying. So at least the Kardashian curse isn't like.
Yo, it was never a Kardashian curse. When Chloe was married to Lamar, They
He
won
was- he
two championships.
Yeah.
So this Kardashian, I like Chloe at the game. I need Chloe at every game.
She need to go to the mix with the Cavaliers because if her and LeBron some way somehow link up,
Yo, they
I
would have
think
the most superhuman child.
Right. What, her.
LeBron and Serena would have
oh
the
my
most
god, that'd be amazing.
superhuman.
I love Serena. I was watching. She's got an HBO show coming out, and she was talking about just her whole experience, like trying to get back, ready to get back on the field after having her baby and stuff. Or is it a field?
It's
a court.
I feel like after you have
It's court
a
touchdown.
child, though, ain't none of them got nothing on her when she stepped out with that.
I agree. I think
It's a
she's gonna
different-
come back.
it's a different
beast-
animal.
Yes, she's gonna come and beast it. And then what's crazy about the whole Serena situation is she went from number one when she left to have her baby, and now they say she's dropped down to like number 400 or 500.
Yeah, but like those type of
Right.
sports is like if you're not active,
Actively
you're
going-
ranked.
But do you think that should be a thing that if you go out to have a baby, that
Yeah, 'cause she's
your
not
place
the-
should be held?
No,
No, you can't.
because
hold
you're
your
not
place.
active.
And other people
You
are
don't think
active.
you
You
should
have,
get a one-season maternity
No.
leave?
no, not at all.
Because they
So
didn't.
you got to come all the. I mean, and I think she's gonna come back
She-
and go all the way back
she's
to
not
number
the-
one again.
She's
but
not the first tennis player that had a child.
I agree with that,
So
and that's
we
what
can't
she's
hold
like.
her spot just because. Oh, it's
No,
Serena.
I'm not saying that because it's Serena. I'm asking in general, should that be
No.
put in place?
No, because I'll put it in this perspective. In football, if say if Tom Brady goes off for 6 months because he's watching his newborn child and they lose the Super Bowl, it's because if he chose that. No one can stop. They can't stop him. Like, oh, you're out for 6 months. Like, it's not.
Sports is always
it's-
what are you doing now?
It's
Like if LeBron has a bad game,
But that's like a
LeBron
record.
is-
Like if you break a record, you got that record until somebody
no,
else break the record.
a ranking is not the record. Your record is your record. The ranking is what's going on right now. Who's active
Okay,
right now?
that makes sense.
So it's the same in golf. It's the same in NASCAR. Like all the boxing. Like you're ranking with everything.
To be
With rockets,
serious,
you're not active.
it's actually more than sports. It's actually entertainment in general. I think if you're not active even in entertainment, like folks
Well,
that
yeah, that's why a lot of people when they make
Wayne, when he
music
went
or
to-
whatever,
or
they think
T.I.
they can
went
take
to-
a long break
Exactly,
and come back
right.
and their careers like flop now, or a movie star when they think they can look at Halle Berry. No shade to Halle, but it's like
You're not hot no more.
right. So, but that's another thing because when you talk about acting and I'm gonna bring Monique into this actually.
Don't do it
But
to
when you talk
yourself.
about like actors of color, like especially black actresses, there was an article that I was reading about how when you have like white actors who win an Oscar, their career goes like this, and then when you have black actors who win an Oscar, their career goes like this.
But you gotta look at it like this. They might have only won the Oscar because of their relationships to begin with. So they were gonna get the money regardless. Like a lot of these rewards that people get is not because they're good. It's because the right people are saying he's good at this moment. And
Right, because it's a
It's a popularity. It's a popularity.
It's
contest.
politics in every industry. Like
Yeah.
I don't care what you're doing.
Yeah,
So
so that's
it's
like
all
the whole,
relationship.
like the whole Ashley Judd. Have y'all heard about like the Ashley Judd and the Harvey Weinstein? And she was talking about.
I don't like that.
You don't like her? Why?
Because the one thing when she said something like, the guy at the airport said, "Oh, excuse me, honey."
Oh,
Like, I was
that
like,
did
"Bruh,
make her
that-
look really. She
like,
does
bruh."
look like a. And then what was so funny is because when I was watching the interview, and they asked her because it was like a rumor of her being like a B word on set, and they
Right.
asked her, and she was like, "Well, I mean, I'm just a person who knows what I like, and I know what I want. So if I have to go after that, then." And when people answer like that, you already know. That, okay, that
Because
makes
she
sense.
would be the same.
Exactly.
She would be the same one that walk by and say, "Excuse me, sweetie," and then that's like me looking at her like, "I'm not your sweetie.
Right.
Don't call." Like,
Exactly.
You making a big deal about
Exactly.
nothing.
Now, I will say with the situation, from what she's arguing, it does sound legit because she was talking about how, I mean, and everybody knows in the 90s, she was really hot. She was in
Yeah,
like
she was
every
great,
movie.
yeah.
And
So
so,
with Jeopardy, like
exactly. Yeah.
Oh.
So, I mean, but you know what's crazy is that movie has really, really low ratings, but I love that movie.
A lot of the good
Where,
movies
though?
got low ratings.
Yeah.
I don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes.
Exactly.
If for real, if the rating is low, I'm like, yo, that movie lit.
Exactly.
Except for Get Out, though, I got 100% Rotten Tomatoes.
Right,
exactly.
Fun fact, it did.
I think Rotten Tomatoes just started getting like, maybe like the last year or two, they just started getting like.
Because I thought that was their
Right.
thing. Like, we're the
Exactly.
hater people.
Exactly. But now it's like it's
Titanic
legit.
6.5.
It is getting weird.
But anyways, I will like divert in a second.
Avatar 7.
But
No
Ashley
way.
Judd, she was supposedly being considered for Lord of the Rings as one of the stars, and Harvey Weinstein had tried to like mess with her, and she turned him down, and so Harvey went back and told the director because Lord of the Rings is a Weinstein production.
Right.
So he went back and told the producer like, don't hire her, she's the B word, and so her career like kind of hurt from that. And as we know, Lord of the Rings went on like the one movie, the first movie by itself made.
Oh, the series is a
The trilogy is just amazing.
And she says it kind of cost her opportunity, so she's suing him now or whatever. So what do y'all think about that? I know you don't like her, so.
Nah, but like, you feel me? Like, that's wrong.
Yeah, that's
Like,
horrible, right?
Even if the producer don't know the true story, the whole story about everything, the guy who's financing the film, who probably put you in the position to be the producer, is coming to you saying, yo, don't give her the job. You're going to listen to him.
Mm-hmm. But that's the thing about this whole Weinstein thing is because
A lot of these people are
like,
now saying, "Oh, we knew though."
exactly.
Right.
So it's like
Everybody's
I
trying to
can't
get
even
on
give the producer couldn't even know, he could have knew the whole story.
Exactly.
But and if he did, I feel like he's as guilty as Weinstein.
Mm-hmm.
So if Weinstein were to have got in charge or whatever, like you're an accessory to.
Well,
whatever
I
that
mean,
was.
he is, but at the same time,
If he
he's
come
not because
to-
that's his boss.
no,
So
if he-
if it was a direct order, I mean,
If he come to you and be like, yo, this girl didn't want to have sex with me, I don't like her, she's this and that, don't give her the job.
He didn't
no
say
more.
all that.
You tell her she's fired, because if I tell her she's fired, then it's gonna look funny.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling you, that's the Donald Trump.
right.
I don't wanna
and
fire
that's the
Mueller,
whole thing
someone
about the whole
fire
Weinstein thing is so deep in Hollywood because he owns. Out the Weinstein company, he owns like 3 or 4 more production companies.
Yeah, but that's why you get him out the paint
Exactly.
in 96 and 97. You don't let it go 20 years and then say, I've missed 20 years of work. And
But
all these other
but that's
women
the
were
thing.
affected.
Nobody could speak up. That's the whole like the Me Too thing.
And
'cause
people
no
speaking
women
now?
could speak up. They did, but because
Are
it's
people
a-
speaking now?
But because of the movement, people are not afraid to speak. Like they actually have a
tired of
defense
that.
fund that's
I'm
giving
tired
money
of
to
the
people.
bandwagon.
I get it.
When something go wrong, you say it right then and there.
I agree, but it ain't always been that way.
That's
You're not a woman,
that's
so
the-
you can't.
No,
speak
but
from
that's
that
the Peter
perspective.
Parker. You let the guy rob the store, then he go and kill your uncle.
But see, that's
You
why
coulda stopped
As
it.
a woman, you can't like. You get what I'm saying? Like women, like statistically speaking, women are at a disadvantage over men. I mean,
Exactly.
That's true.
So it's like,
Exactly.
I get what you're saying. I mean, because as me, I can easily think like, oh, that would never happen. I would shut that down right away. But a lot of
No,
people
I'm not saying
have fought for us to be able to even think like that. So you know what I'm saying? But I don't feel like women can necessarily.
So you telling me that throughout this whole time they never said not one thing to nobody?
People said stuff, but it always ended
Exactly.
up back to him.
So if
It's
somebody
like,
telling me, oh, we gotta go fix that. Don't tell me nothing then.
I get
Don't
it, but
tell me.
I can't say. I just think that it's different when you're in a situation. It's easy to
Because there's a lot of
you know
men
what
saying,
I'm
yo, we knew, we partied with him. Then why didn't you say anything? Don't tell me now.
Well, that's the part.
I don't
of it,
care
too,
what
because
you
people
do now.
They need to be held responsible too.
He didn't come to you, guy.
So do you think she's going to bounce back from that, or do you think possibly a lawsuit
She's
coming on?
She's
or-
good.
She's not. Nothing's wrong with her.
Right, exactly. I'm sure she's got good residuals.
She's good.
I'm sure she wasn't like. I'm sure at the end of the day,
Her-
she
wasn't
was
her
still
mom
getting
there?
paid when she was
Right.
worked, as opposed to like. And I'm glad I said that because that's
go back to Monique.
another question I want to talk about because it reminds me of the Monique situation when you look at like black actors versus white actors, or even when you think about like in the '90s, like take Roseanne for instance,
Right.
or like Rosie
Man,
Rosie
that was
O'Donnell.
that was a good
Actually,
show,
I'm gonna
though.
take Rosie O'Donnell because Rosie O'Donnell had a talk show in the '90s. She ended in like '97, '98. Rosie ain't done nothing else since then, but she still paid like. And when you think about like,
She
that,
ain't
I'm
done
saying
nothing.
with like Ashley Judd, I'm sure her deals were good because then when you look at like black actors, how in the
Did
'90s,
she do the
80s,
Foxes?
70s, they have to come back and they like still working today, and still like trying to keep a check. But it's like those. It's so I always think about it like it's so crazy how those '90s actors and like people in entertainment just still be living and like good, but it's like our people You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't see the. Y'all don't see what I'm
But you
saying?
gotta look at it. A lot of these Hollywood actors in the '90s were like children of people in the '80s and '70s, whether they were
Yeah.
producers, directors.
Yeah.
So a lot of these people you look at like
So
They
now
are
Laban
their
is
fans.
exactly.
Right.
So they have the relationship.
Right.
But to me, that's not even an excuse anymore because of the internet. There's so many platforms
That's
for
what-
work,
Yeah.
but
That's
you
not
can't
even
have
us.
you can't have